Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erica and this video is going to be one of me patterning and making a copy of my favorite nightgown. And it will be a vlog, so let's just hop right on in. Okay, so this is going to be more of a vlog style as I sew a project that I want to start and finish today. So I'm going to swivel the camera around in a second to show you, but I have two nightgowns that I want to reproduce. Both of these nightgowns are nightgowns I've had for a very long time. I got them really cheap off of Amazon a long time ago, and I don't want to do that again. And I actually have some fabric I found at the thrift store that I can use to replace them, and they are literally falling apart. Now, I sleep in these things practically every night. They're strappy because I can't sleep with anything around my neck or in a t-shirt. I just don't sleep. So I am probably not going to be trying these on at the end though. I'll probably be putting them on my, well, however many I make. I'll probably put it on my mannequin and show it off, but not on me. Not that they're really bad or anything. I'm just not comfortable doing that on the internet. But I can still show the process. They're still very comfortable. They're just pretty little nightgowns. So what I have done already is I'm taking I took a pattern off of them, and I'll show you that. Now, let me swivel the camera around to show you that. Okay, so here is the first one, and here is the second one. This one I've already cut up. They're literally falling apart. Like, you can see the strings coming out everywhere. There's holes in the seams here. And like I said, it's not anything, you know, ridiculous. It's just a shorter little nightgown with a top. But they're very comfortable, and it's how I sleep the best. So they're identical, other than this is more of a softer knit fabric. This is more of a cotton knit. But yeah, so we have the back top, the two front top pieces, and then the back and the front skirt piece. And they're pretty much the same. So what I've already done is, I'm still gonna use that green one until I have replacements, but the polka dot one is just gone. So that's the one I cut. So we have here is the skirt, and this is the front and back. I'm just adding a little bit here on the side for the front because it will be gathered a little bit right under the bust. And then I have the back piece and the top front. So that is the pattern pieces. It's pretty simple. I will be doing some straps as well, and I have some of these adjustable strap pieces. I am not 100% sure whether or not I'll be using them or if I'm just going to make them one size, because I literally never adjusted those. So here is the knit that I have that I'm going to make at least one out of. I might go fish around in my knit stash again and see if I have a different one to make a second one, so they're not two of the same. Not that that really matters, but I like having variety. So this is like a very, very, very deep pink. It's looking a lot more red on the camera lens, but it is a very dark pink. One thing I do not have is any stretch lace, and I know that that's just a desire. I just really like having a little bit of lace detail, like is on here. You can see how bad a condition this is in. It's terrible. So anyway, I am going to run to the craft store because I have not been able to locate any stretch lace at the thrift store, and see if I can find some. I don't need much. Just enough to go here on this edge ×2, and then a little bit for the waistline. Like, yeah, it won't even unfold. It's so stuck together. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm still thinking I can do this all in one day. I went ahead and added seam allowances. I've got 1/2 inch seam allowance here, here, there, and on all of those sides. And then 1 inch seam allowance on the bottom. Don't know if I'll end up using it or not, the full inch, but we'll see. So yeah, that's where I am. gonna run to the store and see if I can find a yard or so of some stretch lace, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back from the store and 3 craft stores, and nobody has stretch lace. So I ordered some, but it won't be here today, obviously. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the rest of it and just see how far I can go. The lace is probably gonna just be sewn on top of it anyway, so I'm not super concerned about that. I'm just a little disappointed and a little frustrated that literally nobody has stretch lace, because I only need just a little bit. But anyway, let's get started cutting. I didn't cut through 2 layers of knit on this, so I did have to cut out the first piece and then turn it over and cut the second piece. Same thing with the skirt. Then I went and stitched the 2 side seams together with a zigzag stitch, or an overcast. It was an overcast stitch, sorry. And then once that was done, I went and sewed the side seams of the top together, and then sewed the top triangles together at the bottom in a basting stitch where they overlapped. And one thing I show but very quickly in a minute is that for the edge of the center front, I folded that edge over on the outside and zigzagged it down, because that means when I sew the lace on top, it will completely cover that raw edge rather than it being visible on the inside of the garment. And I did all of the top parts with an overcast stitch as well, except for the zigzag stitch that I just mentioned in sewing the center front edges down. I didn't record a whole lot of this because I was getting used to sewing on the knit, which is not something I normally do. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed the waist seam together after I got back from lunch. So that is on. I'm going to go ahead and hem it. What I'm probably going to do is just turn it up once, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. Probably just a zigzag stitch. It's pajamas. I really don't care too much. So yeah, I'm just going to turn it up and do a zigzag stitch. And that will be fine. And then I've got to cut out the binding. Now I will say it's kind of ripply, but that's my fault. So when I did the zigzag, I didn't realize that I had done it too big of a zigzag stitch, so it was just putting too much of a gap between stitches. So I had to go back and do another row of zigzag, and that made it kind of puckery. However, I am going to put a piece of lace over this when I get it, so you shouldn't see it. And again, lace will go here and there along the front. Yeah, it's pretty close other than that, which again, I will have to wait till tomorrow to do the lace because it won't be here. But I can go ahead and do the strap and the hem. So I'm going to go do the hem and then cut out the strap. Really quickly, I'm just showing that I used a twin needle with 2 different spools of thread to do the hem. Okay, it's the next day and the lace got here quickly. The only place I was able to find it really quickly was Amazon. I really don't like ordering very much off of there, but sometimes that's where it comes from. And thankfully it wasn't that expensive. So I got it sewn on. Let me show you. Alright, So let me scoot it up. So I sewed it on here, obviously here, and then I did 2 rows of stitching, one on the top and one on across the bottom. I love that it hides the stitching really well. Lace, I love lace. Lace can hide a lot. If you have sewn for any length of time, you know how much lace can hide. Like, you can't even see the puckering that was on the seam. And I took it all the way around the back. The original one didn't have it, but I wanted it all the way around the back. So yeah, it's starting to look exactly like I wanted it. So the only thing left I have to do is the strap. I did finish the hem. And you know, I was going to use a little bit larger of a stitch, like a 3, but I didn't realize until it's about halfway done that I'd forgotten to change the stitch length, and so it was still 2, but you know, it looks good, it stretches well. I am very pleased. So this is really simple, and it would have been done yesterday had I had the lace yesterday. I will say though, it was my fault, but I also had to run back to the store and was really irritated because I popped my twin stretch needle and I only had one. So I had to go replace that before I was able to finish the hem. So I had to leave with the hem half done and then come back and finish it. Alright, strap time. So I need to cut out one long strip of about 3/4 of an inch to an inch wide. I'm going to do an inch actually. And it doesn't need to be on the bias because it stretches. And then I'm going to put it in my ironing board through this bias tape maker thing, iron it out, and get it on. So I will see what I can film of that process. The reason I was trying to finish this yesterday was because it was Friday and the kids are home today, but it didn't happen. So there will be kid noises in the background if I do volume. I'm actually surprised they're being quiet right now. Anyway, I might not do volume because of that, but we'll see what I can film because kids are home, because I have a very needy 5-year-old that has been wanting to follow me around all morning, and that is wonderful. I love it, but he's been in here and his face won't be on the camera, so we'll see what I can do. Okay, so I sewed it on and now I have turned it to the back, pinned it all the way down. I'm going to start here at the end, if I can get it to lay, folding it over in half and stitch that down all the way. And then when I get to the gown itself, I'm going to be stitching from the right side. I'm going to stitch in the ditch down here, and that should catch the back all the way down. I'm going to go very slow. As you can see, I have a lot of pins, and then I'm going to go to the end of the strap on the other side as well. So that's what's next. Okay, that's done. So I do want to show this though, and this is why I'm practicing with the nightgown first, because as long as I've been sewing, I have barely worked with knit fabric, and that's one thing that I really want to get better at. And so I figured not only do I need a new nightgown, but this would be a good way to practice on something that I'm not going to be wearing out of the house. And as you can see, this is the side I started on. I don't know how visible the bad stitching will be. Let me see if I can get a better example here. It's pretty wonky. I don't know if it'll show it. It's pretty wonky on that side. This is the side I started on. There you can see it a little bit better. It's going up in the ditch, out of the ditch. Anyway, by the time I don't, oh, and I gave up doing in the ditch. That wasn't gonna work. So I just did on top, and then by the time I got around to this side, it looks much better, and this camera is not really showing it very well, but all right, so we have straps. Now what I need to do is actually try it on and make sure I have the straps pulled down to the length I actually want them to be and where I want them attached on the back, and then stitch that down, and this project will be done. And I'm very excited. And so yeah, I probably won't show that part, so the next thing I will do is show it on the dress form when it's done. Well, it's a little wrinkled because I need to wash it, but there it is. There's obviously some mistakes, but I am very happy with it overall. Again, it's a nightgown. It's for me. It's not going anywhere. It's also practice, and I'm very pleased. And that's all that matters, right? Let me turn it back around. Yay! All right. Thank you for joining me for this little sewing vlog. I'm probably going to try to start doing more of these because I really just want to start getting more out there, and it actually helped me get motivated to do something else besides a big project. And there are a lot of little things that I'd like to do, and like with a lot of the vintage clothes, those probably would fall more under this realm of wanting to do more of a little sewing vlog style for it, because I don't know if those would end up being big videos, but I'm experimenting, I'm trying things out, I'm trying to figure out a way that I can continue to sustain this channel with my schedule as busy as it is. For those that are new here, there are a lot of you. I do have 5 children in 3 different schools. I have a high schooler, a middle schooler, and 3 elementary schoolers, and we have some special needs in that mix, plus you know, we have just the normal, we need help with homework and all of that. Plus, I want, you know, to just be a mom. So the sewing channel is something I definitely enjoy, and it's something that I want to do. It's something that I started for me. And so this is just one of those ways that I am attempting to branch out a little bit and see how I can continue to get this going and keep this going at a reasonable rate, for the fact that I'm a mom of 5, and my husband and I put our relationship first, and yes. So that's the way it is family situation wise, and they're all very supportive of this. They love helping me when they can. Again, my kids' privacy is very important for a lot of reasons, so their faces will not be in this channel, but they might be in the background. And my daughter has modeled a few of the dresses I've made for her, though we've blurred out her face. So anyway, this was fun. I have a new nightgown now, and I'm really excited about that because, as I showed you, my other 2 are already apart and are falling apart. So if you would like to stick around to see what is next, I would love for you to join us. I'd love to hear from you and hear what you're working on, and yeah, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.